If I had to pick a favorite point-and-click adventure game, it would probably be The Longest Journey, although The Walking Dead comes in a really close second. The Longest Journey is just a spectacular experience. It's a really great mix of fantasy and futuristic sci-fi, but the thing about the futuristic sci-fi is it's completely practical and realistic. The kind of future this game predicts, you can almost see it happening. It's not completely crazy. It's not like The Fifth Element where all the cars are flying and all the buildings are 50,000 feet tall. It's like where they get the money for that, where do they get the energy for that, where are the resources on Earth for that. The futuristic technology in The Longest Journey is absolutely realistic because it's kind of winding down, it's rusting. You could see it's technology we don't quite have yet, but it's also technology that they've had for quite a while, and it's already kind of breaking down. The futuristic parts of The Longest Journey aren't at all utopian. They're not a Jack Fresco lecture. They're potent and real. It's stuff that you can absolutely imagine happening based on what humans are like, i.e. selfish, lazy, and violent. The game has absolutely beautiful scenery. I think pound for pound The Longest Journey has the most beautiful background settings out of any point-and-click adventure game. And for how beautiful the futuristic parts of the game are, the fantasy settings of the game are just awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping. The graphical concepts of the game are much like something like a Final Fantasy VII. It's a 3D sprite running around a painting, and it's my favorite type of graphics a game can have, and I think it's one of the reasons this game is so beloved. In the game, you play as April, who's like this fine-ass protagonist, and I mean that in the most literal sense of the word. She has a banging body, and you just want to watch her run around. You don't even want to play the game sometimes because she is just an 11 out of 10. April is for the most part cute, quirky, and precocious, but she also has a lot of personality traits of an old Jewish lady.
The last book I read was How to Seduce the Man of Your Dreams. Now, if I can just find a man to dream about, I'll be all set.
She's like Joan Rivers' soul in Jennifer Lopez's body. The gameplay has her solving puzzles much like a normal point-and-click adventure game would solve puzzles. You pick things up in the environment, you use them together, you place them in some things, you remove them from other things. The game is very stereotypical of what a point-and-click adventure game is. But as I've said, where this game stands out is the actual scenery. The art style of the game is just amazing. I literally cannot praise it enough. It's one of those games you just have to play, and after like 20 minutes of playing, you will see exactly what I'm talking about if you don't see it from the gameplay I'm showing you right now. The Longest Journey has an interesting story, but it's somewhat slow-paced, as is the gameplay. It's a relaxing game you don't need to be on edge about. It's one of those games where you can just relax and have the hours fly by. It's a really fun and calming pastime. The Longest Journey is like the video game equivalent of meditating or sleeping or smoking pot or drinking with your friends or whatever fun, relaxing activity you enjoy. The game's slow pace doesn't get you frustrated though, because you can always speed it up. For example, if you double click somewhere, you can run there, you can skip cinematics, so the game doesn't have to just stretch out for a really long time. There are ways to artificially speed it up if you are so inclined, if you're late for work or whatever. But I think the best way to experience The Longest Journey is really through a slow and steady process. Taking it in slowly, like a plant would take in sunlight and water. You'll enjoy the game a lot more if you follow its pace and rhythm. Oh, look at that, it's just a bunch of pictures on TV. In the future, all television channels will be screensavers! There are a few nonsensical puzzles in the game, but this is something a lot of point-and-click adventure games suffer from. The thing is, there's not a lot of crazy things to solve. There's not a lot of those things where you need a gun to catch a fish. You know, most of the things you need to do in this game, most of the tasks that the game sets out for you make rational sense. Not all of them, but for the most part, The Longest Journey does follow human rationalism and common sense. It's a point-and-click adventure game with a really long and involving story, and also this is another thing I have to mention about The Longest Journey. It does something really well that really needs to be good in a point-and-click adventure game, especially in a point-and-click adventure game because there's a lot of talking involved. The Longest Journey has just spectacular voicing. Not just the inflection in people's voices, but the voices themselves are like great. They're clear and crisp. They fit with what the person is that is talking.
Computer.
Voice interface is not installed. Please use the touchscreen interface to communicate with this free access terminal.
Oh, okay.
Why not consider a very reasonable upgrade? In addition to a voice interface, true holo display technology and Instacredit compatibility.
No, I'll just use my hands, thanks.
You are missing out on a great opportunity.
It feels like all the voice actors are professional radio personalities, like Patrick Timpones and Eckhart Tolles and late 90s Art Bells. The voiceover artists in this game are really talented, but for how talented they are, they're not even close to how talented the actual artists of the game are, because once again, I cannot overstate this, the game is beautiful. At the end of the day, The Longest Journey isn't just a game, it is an experience that you need to experience yourself. I think it's on Steam, on Amazon, on GOG for like literally pennies, so go out and pick it up. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a fan of point-and-click adventure games or just adventure games in general. I'll put it to you this way, if you love The Walking Dead and you love old school PS1 era RPGs, this game, this experience is a mixture of those two dichotomies. The Longest Journey gets an official Stanburdman rating of a 9.5 out of 10. It's as close to perfection as a point-and-click adventure game can get. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends. I'm gonna go back to playing The Longest Journey.